Welcome back. Awful glad you could join me today. Today I thought we'd do a beautiful little scene on a black canvas, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So I'm going to have them graphically run all the colors across the screen that you need to do this fantastic painting, and they'll come across in the same order that I have them on my palette, starting with the white and working around. Let's go up to the canvas now. I've already covered the entire canvas with a thin, even coat of phthalo blue and alizarin crimson mixed together. And much more crimson than blue. I want it to be sort of a purplish color. And I've covered the entire canvas, then brushed it in long horizontal and vertical strokes. The paint is wet and it's ready to go. So let's take off. We'll start with a little bit of titanium white. And let's put a light source in this little painting, and maybe it's right there. Now see, when you touch it with the white, it begins picking up that beautiful purplish color that's underneath. And all these fantastic things, they just sort of happen. Don't have to worry about them, just let them happen. And you blend out. If this is going to be your lightest area, then you blend out in sort of like a half circle. Now you can make this area as light as you want it, but each time I'd recommend you clean your brush and start with a clean, dry brush. There we go. Start with a clean, dry brush and clean white. And go back to this light area and begin blending outward. Each time, though, once again, I'd clean the brush. Otherwise, you're going to drag that dirty color back into the center. Alrighty. Just keep working out. And it gives you a nice, super little sky. Then you can just blend out the brush strokes. Okay. And one more time, I'll clean the brush. This is just odorless paint thinner. Okay. I had a lady in class one time that let her brush go and it went clean across the room. Blip. Okay, let's take some alizarin crimson and phthalo blue, still using purple, and we'll just mix that up. More crimson than blue. Blue is many times more strong than the crimson is. Okay, now I'm just going to get a small roll of paint. Let's go right up here. Maybe there's a happy little cloud that just sort of floats around, and we'll just touch the canvas. Just touch. I'm just allowing this paint to pull right off the knife onto the canvas. Maybe it comes wherever you want to go. Just happy little cloud. Let it get a little smaller in the background. That way it looks like it's farther away. With a large brush, very lightly, just blend it. Just blend it. And this is 3 hairs and some air. Okay, now then, maybe let's put a little highlight on this. Take some titanium white and a little bit of phthalo blue into it. There we are. Okay, a little bit of paint on the knife. Now, since our light source is here, let's just let a little light strike right on the bottom of some of these clouds. Just let them happen. Let it happen. There we go. That easy. Okay. And just lay these on the canvas. Now with our large brush, very lightly, once again, same angle, most important. Just blend that back and forth. Now you can blend this till it absolutely goes away and leaves you. So stop. It gets to be fun, and you have a tendency just to keep going. You don't want to stop. But get it where you want it and leave it alone. Okay, I'll go right back into that same purple color. And tell you what, let's build a happy little mountain, and it lives right there. Just letting go. And I'm really pushing here. I want to push this paint right into the fabric. Right into the fabric. Maybe there's a little bump right there. Really push this paint into the fabric. Okay. With a large brush, we'll grab that now and just pull it down. This removes excess paint. And also, it's a good way to sort of lay out your general mountain shape. These brush strokes will show up, especially on a black canvas. And you can literally, just by changing brush strokes, you can lay out your entire mountain and have an idea of how you want to put the highlights and the shadows. And just by doing that, you can change it. It's a super, super way to lay it out and get it just right before you ever put your first touch of paint on the canvas. And let's just use this phthalo blue and white. That'll be our highlight color today. This phthalo blue, titanium white. Okay, pull it out. Get a small roll of paint right out on the edge of the knife. Right on the edge. Okay, let's go up to the canvas here. Now, just barely touch and just follow right down the side of the mountain. No pressure. Allow that paint to break. Allow it to break, just like that. Okay? And think where the light would strike it. Think where it would strike. You want those areas to have the lightest, brightest color. Okay, maybe. See, and at the same time as picking up some of that purple undercolor, and all these beautiful things just happen. You don't have to worry about them. You don't have to worry. There we go. Make an almighty mountain here today. Okay, maybe there's a little bit right there. Right there. Maybe it just sort of plays around wherever you want it to go. Wherever. Now for the shadow side, I'll just mix some purple. That was the alizarin crimson and phthalo blue, and a little bit of light color, just to make a light purple, and then we'll use that for shadow. Okay, then come right along in here, and we can drop in some happy little shadows. Okay, maybe it comes right down like that. And we'll just sort of blend these together here. And there's nothing wrong with going back and picking up a little of this blue and just sort of playing it back and forth. Let all these beautiful little things just sort of happen, just fall off your knife. There we go. Okay, mix me up a little more of the highlight. That's the phthalo blue and white. Look at there. Did you ever think you could make a mountain that easy? That was that effective? And you can just keep adding more and more detail. It's almost unbelievable what you can create with just a big old knife. And a little bit of practice. You really need to practice. There we go. Okay, we'll just drop a little shadow over in here. I get carried away and cover up the whole canvas with just mountains, which is an excellent, excellent way to practice. When I was learning, that's what I used to do. I'd cover a whole canvas with nothing but mountains and scrape them off, do it again. And very quickly, you learn how to paint mountains. Okay, now I'm going to take just a clean, dry brush, and I want to create some mist down here. So following these angles, gently tap. But always follow the angles that you have in the mountain. There, just gently, gently tap it. And your brush is picking up some of this color, and all these beautiful things just happen. There, and now we lift upward. That takes out your little tap marks and blends it all together. Creates a beautiful, beautiful misty effect. Just like so. Okay. Now then, maybe we'll mix up some more crimson and phthalo blue. We'll just keep using some of this purplish color here. Okay, there, good dark color. Should look black. Should look black. And if you want to tell exactly what your color is, put a little bit of white on your palette and touch a little of that color to it, because otherwise you really can't tell. It just looks black on here. Okay, now I'm going to load a fan brush up. Let's go up to the canvas. Maybe there's some happy little trees that live right here in front of this almighty mountain. Just touching. Want these to be very dark so they stand out against the lighter color on the mountain. Dark against light, light against dark, continually. And trees grow to all different sizes, all different shapes. So you have to make these decisions. How do trees grow in your world? And then let them go. Let them go. Okay, let's go over here a little bit. Right there. And just let these trees shoot wherever you want them to go. Maybe they just come right across the canvas. But you can see how easy they are just to drop in. And you just decide how many trees you want in your world. Put them in. And don't piddle with them. Don't worry about them. You're the master. You can do anything. Okay. Now then, maybe let's put a little grassy area down here. I'll go right into a little bit of CAD yellow, sap green. We just use this old big brush today. You could do it with a fan brush, 1-inch brush, whatever. Maybe right here. We'll just touch. Just barely touch. I want to make the indication of just a little grass playing back here with the sun shining through. There we go. Maybe it comes right on over. And I'm just tapping the canvas. Add a little yellow ochre, a little Indian yellow, just to break it up a little. Okay. And as you're painting, look at your painting. Continually look at it. Step back and look at it. And you can see all kinds of things. A lot of times I'll start out with one painting in mind, and by the time I'm finished, I've totally changed my mind, and it doesn't look anything like what I had in mind when I started. And that's the joy of painting. Okay, fan brush, some Van Dyke brown, little burnt umber. Just mix them on the brush here, and let's put in what will eventually end up being some land under here. And I'm just going to scrub in just a little color. It's probably very hard to see on your screen, but it's there. Maybe it comes right on up through there. It'll show up in a minute. Just sort of scrub it on. Okay, and then I'll go right into a little bit of, let's try some yellow ochre. And we'll drop a few little highlights here and there. I don't want too many. Just a few. Okay, maybe there's, oh, there we go. All kinds of nice little things. Now back to our large brush, and we can tap a little bit of grass right on top of that, and it'll very quickly bring it all together. Maybe show you a little trick. It's just a lot of fun. I'm going to put a small amount of titanium white on my fan brush, and I want to make it look like little tree trunk indications. So grab and just very lightly, just here and there, just lift upward a little bit. Just here and there. Not a lot, not a lot. If you get more than you want, just take a clean fan brush and go back over it. The dark color will come right through, and it'll make it go away. But that easy, you can make the indication of little tree trunks, and you really haven't hardly done a thing. Okay, let's have some fun. Let's have some water in here. I'm going to use titanium white and phthalo blue. I'm going to make a beautiful, beautiful, bright, sparkling blue here. There we go. Pull it out very flat and go right across so you have a small amount of paint right out on the end of the knife. Okay, good. Let's go right up here. Now then, let's begin. Oh, look how that shows up. Look how it shows up, just barely touching the canvas here. I want it to look like a happy little stream that's just bubbling along there, just having fun. So I'm just barely stroking the canvas. And keep the lines here basically straight, because water's level. It's always trying to go somewhere where it can be level. There we go. Let it go. There. And you can put as many of these in as you want, or as few, whatever. Okay, see there? That easy? That easy? You got a little bit of water. Tell you what, maybe this water, maybe there's a stone there. Maybe it just falls right over it. Get a little blue and white on my brush here. There we go. Load a lot of paint into the bristles. Okay, let's go up here. Maybe. Gotta make a decision. There it comes, and choo. See there? Just let it fall right over. Maybe just right there. Right there. Maybe. Comes over here and drops this way. This is your world, so you have to make these decisions. You can see that purple's beginning to come through. The more you rub it, the more of the purple that's underneath comes through. And beautiful things happen almost automatically. Almost automatically. Okay, I'll add a little more blue in there. Oh, that's pretty. Phthalo blue is such a vibrant blue. Okay, maybe I'll add a little bit more right in here, darken it. And the water comes right over, and when it hits down here, you're going to get all these beautiful little splashes that are happening. And it helps to make sounds. So you feel the power of the water. There. Okay, now we need to have something in there to contain that water. We don't want it just to sneak out. So I'll take a little bit of the brown. It's just Van Dyke brown. And maybe there's a landmass lives right here. Right here. Whatever. Good. And we'll go right into some purple. We'll just use that same old purple color. Maybe on this landmass there lives a happy little evergreen tree. There he is. But just sort of make up little stories in your mind. This little tree lives here, and he watches a stream all day. It makes him happy, so he grows and gets strong. There. But just make up little stories, and they make you happy. And when you make up these little stories, then you can visualize these things in your mind. Tell you what, let me grab another fan brush, and we'll just put some trunks and then some highlights. I'll just use a little bit of this blue and white that we used in the water. Put a few little trunk indications here and there. All I'm doing is touching the canvas here. Just touch. We're not sure how many trees are there. However many you want. Sap green and some yellow. I'm going to add a tiniest little bit of paint thinner to that. Let's put some brown in. It's too bright. I want to dull it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sap green, cad yellow, a little bit of Van Dyke brown to dull it down. And we just put some little indications of some leaves here and there. Don't want too many. There we go. A little bit over there. While I got this going on the brush, I'll just add some yellow ochre and Indian yellow. I'll just put some little grassy things right there. Right there. This is the yellow ochre. And we'll make some dirt. I'm going to add a little burnt umber to that. Yellow ochre and burnt umber. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Good. Now we can take this just a little bit blue and white. Clean up those edges and start bringing all this together. And maybe right there, shoot, we're having so much fun making all these big rocks. And this is still brown, a little purple. Maybe there's a big old stone that lives right there. Right there. And he comes right down. There we go. This old fan brush makes beautiful stones. There we go. Now, we need, let's have some of this little grassy area coming right down on top of this stone. Just flatten the top out a little bit. And a little bit of umber and yellow ochre. A little bit of top on that stone. And just here and there, just give a least little indication, pull a little bit down. And then, with a clean fan brush, we can just pull that right in. It'll help define your stones a little bit. Keep this area very, very dark. Very dark. Okay. Now we need something on the other side over here. Tell you what, let's go right back into this purple and brown, whatever dark color, and we'll put a evergreen that lives right there. Just let him fall off your brush. Okay, there he goes. Just right on down the canvas. Big, big evergreen. Big evergreen. Okay, we just put a couple over here. Because I don't want to lose all this nice mountain area. I like that mountain. He's a big, strong mountain. Okay, maybe right out through there. And just put a nice stone there. This is just brown, a little burnt umber, and we'll make another nice stone that lives out here. Okay. Little tree trunk indications right in this big tree over here. Just some indications, don't need too much detail. And then some highlights. Need some little leaves showing. Yellow, sap green. Okay, a little bit right here, just like so. A little on this tree. And while we got this brush running, we'll come right down there. Got some nice little grassy things that are just traveling right down this hill. And we'll make some little stones. Add a little more of the burnt umber there. And cut maybe right on out here. We'll make those decisions later. Later. Okay, a little bit of grass right down there. Isn't that fantastic? That easy to make all those beautiful little rocks. Okay, let's work on some water. I'm still using the THALO blue and white. I'm going to add a least little touch of magic white to it, just to thin it down a little. And let's go right in here. And now we can begin playing. With all these little swirls and churning actions. Just sort of let your mind go. Think how the water would hit and splash and play. There. And here and there, there's little stones under there that cause it to go. See, gotta make those little sounds again now. And what started out as a soft little stream, it fell over the big stone here and turned into a little bubbler. Okay. Now then, let's take, there it is, and bring our stones right on down, wherever we want them. Put a little grass here and there on them. Just let them play. Here we're just pushing with a fan brush to make all these happy little grass things. Okay, tell you what, just looks like the right place. Let's have right here in the corner, we'll cover up our nice tree. I want a nice big tree that lives right there. This is Van Dyke Brown. And we need a nice little foots on this tree, big foot on this tree. There we go. He's got to be strong, stand up. Okay. Now then, we'll take a little permanent red, a little white. Add a little bit of burnt umber into that. There we go. And let's put the least little touch of highlight here and there. Oh, not a great deal, just enough to make it shine. Just here and there. They come right on down his foots. His little foots need some highlight. Now on the other side, I'm going to use just a little phthalo blue and white, quite dark. Give us indication of reflected light, sort of makes it stand out. Let's put a little bit of grass down here around his foots. Sure, we just about have a finished painting here. I want to put just an indication of an old limb hanging out here. And I think we'll call this one finished. And I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful painting. Till next time, happy painting.